Japan had been the last of the great combatants of the Second World War to industrialise, but air power proved vital to its war effort. The Japanese launched their entry into the war with a range of surprise attacks against the Allies in December 1941. Most famously of all, the Americans were caught off guard at Pearl Harbor, with 2 waves of attacks led by 350 fighters and bombers launched from 6 aircraft carriers. 21 American ships were lost or damaged, and over 2,000 American sailors killed. A few hours earlier, and 7,000 miles away, the Japanese had turned their attention to the British Commonwealth forces stationed in Malaya, now Malaysia, landing troops by sea. The resulting Malaya campaign lasted for over 2 months, and things didn't go well for the British. On the 10th of December, just 2 days after Pearl Harbor, Japanese aircraft attacked and sank HMS Prince of Wales and HMS Repulse, 2 of the most powerful Royal Navy warships in the area. This and Pearl Harbor demonstrated spectacularly that ships were very vulnerable to aerial attack, and that the Japanese had made the right decision to invest as much in air power as they had. Aircraft also proved critical for control of the Malayan Peninsula, with the bulk of the RAF tied up with defending the British mainland. The Allies were outnumbered nearly 2-1 in the air. Obsolescent types like the Brewster Buffalo were no match for more modern, nimble Japanese fighters. Intelligence also played a key role in the Malayan campaign. Not only had the Japanese established effective spy networks in the months previous to their surprise attack, they also made good use of reconnaissance aircraft, like this Ki-46 Dinah behind me. Either very lightly, or in some cases completely unarmed, the Dinah was designed to fly so high and so fast that it was out of danger while it took photographs of Allied positions. With its thin wing, narrow and streamlined fuselage, and fully retractable main and tail wheels, it was designed to rip through the air. And in the early stages of the Asia-Pacific War, the Allies had nothing which could catch it. The Japanese rolled down the Malayan Peninsula, driving the British Commonwealth forces in retreat to Singapore, which itself fell to the Japanese in February 1942. Thanks to air power and aircraft like the Dinah, the Japanese held the upper hand in the Second World War until the tide really started to turn against them in 1944, with the British pressing into Burma and the Americans from across the Pacific. With the Americans launching increasingly deadly attacks with long-range bombers against Japanese cities on the home islands, the Japanese took desperate steps. Previously unarmed Dinahs were fitted with cannon and used as bomber destroyers. The Kawasaki Ki-100, this aircraft behind me, was also rushed into production. It was the most advanced Japanese fighter to be produced in the war, but arrived too late to alter the outcome. The Dinah and Ki-100 at Cosford today were captured by the British after the Japanese surrender and recovered from Singapore and Saigon respectively before being returned to the UK for evaluation. Eventually becoming museum objects, they are the only survivors of their types anywhere in the world. They display together with a Yokosuka Okha, a human-guided bomb designed for suicidal kamikaze attacks, another sign of Japanese desperation in the closing stages of the war. Again captured at Singapore, it was taken to the Rocket Propulsion Research Establishment at Westcott in Buckinghamshire, before becoming a museum object by 1963. Taken together, all 3 aircraft make the RAF Museum Cosford one of the best places in the UK to see Japanese aircraft from the Second World War.